Okay, we've made some enhancements to our adaptive roughing. This is a very popular method used a lot by users, and we've actually gone in and made some enhancements to this, and I'll just mention them real quick. Basically, in the part here on the left, 3-axis adaptive roughing, we're applying this to these center spaces here that we want to clear out material with a high-speed toolpath, okay? So at each cut level, you'll see there's multiple levels. At each cut level, we're ensuring that we add the helical entry, a helical entry. There'll be, at each cut level, there'll be at least one helical entry. And then also, if you look right here, if the area requires a retract and transfer, we add arc motions to the entry motion, and I believe it's also on the exit on the other end. You can't see it right here. But basically what this does...
No, the exit, so Don, no, there's no helix on the exits, but it's just, you could have a ramp exit. It's basically... Yeah, you could have a radial ramp, not the helical motions.
Yeah, or you could just extract straight out. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say something about the 3-axis adaptive roughing. You might not be familiar with this because most people, even when you buy a Pro configuration, you don't get it. This is a new technology product that we released a couple of years ago. This is quite advanced, so it's actually a separate. We priced it separately. Because it's quite advanced. It actually uses the in-process cut stock to determine where are the remaining materials to cut. And so it does a lot of processing, and it's quite complex, and it uses adaptive reasoning for actually creating the toolpaths. So this is really useful in the case of if you're doing a lot of mold work, complex parts like this, then this toolpath method is very, very useful. It reduces your cutting load quite dramatically, and also, even in the pockets and facing, even types of core and cavities in both types of situations. And it's a separately priced module, so if you're interested, we're actually marketing it a little bit better this year, starting this year. So if you're interested, drop us an email, and then we can send you some pricing information on how to add this. This can be added to any configuration, whether standard or pro or expert. So just want to let you know. Thank you.
Okay, and just a review here on the far right, we see the adaptive roughing dialog. On the Engage Retract tab, we have our helical ramp set to 15 degrees, the angle of the helical ramp set to 15 degrees. The radius, obviously, is 1/8 of an inch, and then it applies that to each cut level. So we ensures that it applies to each cut level. So each level that you're cutting, you're getting a high-speed adaptive roughing toolpath produced. Okay, so if there's any questions on this, go ahead and add them to the questions tab, as I mentioned, and we'll get to them. So we have a part here that we want to rough out these inner chambers using 3-axis adaptive roughing. Okay, now adaptive roughing is located here on the advanced 3-axis menu. If you do not see adaptive roughing on your menu, it means that you have not purchased adaptive roughing. Adaptive roughing is a as we mentioned here in the video, a module, sort of like a mini module. It's a technology that you can add to any existing configuration to use adaptive roughing. And adaptive roughing in and of itself is a method that during the computation and the calculation of the toolpath, it does a lot of adjustments based on your geometry and your tool and your toolpath parameters to get a very optimized high-speed toolpath. Now, what have we done? We've had adaptive roughing already in prior versions, but what we've done in this particular 2025 version, we made a few tweaks and enhancements to it that I want to go ahead and show you. So let's look at the adaptive roughing dialog. We're using a 1/2-inch flat end mill. The cut parameters, everything looks pretty straightforward there. What we've done is in the engage and retract area where you assign the values for your helical entry. And in adaptive roughing, everything is about not slowing your tool down. We don't want to make your tool stop and change directions. We don't want it to stop at all. So in most cases at each cut level, you'll see one helical entry and one exit. You may see areas where the tool may have to rise and transfer, to get down to another area. You may see that, but even in those areas, we add arc motions to facilitate the high-speed cut pattern. So if you look at the entry, engage, retract, and material parameters, there's our helical motion, and also you can apply toolpath optimization if you want. But this is a method that cuts in levels. It's a roughing method. So let's take a look at the view the toolpath in levels display. So we got each one of these levels. Let's look at the first level here. As you can see, we have our helical entry, one helical entry at each level, but you'll also notice that we have a retract and a transfer to pick up some more material over here. So you'll notice here that in the retract, we have an arc motion and an arc motion and a retract motion, okay? So these arc motions facilitate the high-speed cut pattern itself at higher feed rates, okay? And then we also have arcs on the re-entry over here. So the enhancement is that we now enforce the helical entry at each cut level regardless of the depth of the cut level. In prior versions, the depth of the cut level may not have allowed us to put a full helical motion, or for whatever reasons, it may have skipped the helical entry and just plunged down to the entry point. You'll see now that we do not do that. We force a helical entry at every cut level, and we also add arc motions if you need to retract and move the tool to another location. So that's primarily the enhancement we did in 3-axis adaptive roughing. Okay.